she going. I like all the blonde you have in the front, too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but you know me, I like blondes. So I feel like that means nothing, but it means something. Because I think I'm an authority figure on blondness.
I mean, I think you are too. You've gone a lot of different spectrums.
Spectrums? Yeah. Yes. I even know what shades of blonde I like and don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not a golden blonde gal.
No,
I'm a white blonde.
Yeah.
You know this about me?
I think so.
Oh my gosh,
you
you're
like
such a
that
good friend.
platinum blonde. Yeah.
I
Whereas mine's more like golden kind of ish.
Not
honey.
the front.
I don't know. No, not this
Not
part.
what you got right now. I think that's why I'm like, I like it. The front, what do they call that? Money pieces. You got money pieces.
Oh, interesting.
Baby.
Okay.
You're rocking some money pieces. You're right. I want a Art of Hobbiness
little card to hold.
Card.
Yep.
It's got to be the size of those shufflers.
It's gonna be like a 5x7. You know, yeah, like the size of those. Yep. So, and then it'll have like the logo on, like this on the back or something. Yeah.
We should record an intro for Allie too before you leave.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
But not right now.
We do that over there though, right? Or no, we can do it here.
Yeah, we can do it here.
Okay.
Yeah, so long as he's got it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, I can do an intro, I think.
Okay.
I'll try.
I love it.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm always ready.
Welcome back to the Art of Hobbiness. I'm Erin, joined by my lovely co-host Tam.
Me.
And so, Tam, we talk a lot about how hobbies obviously are a form of self-care on our podcast.
Right.
But today we're going to kind of flip the script and talk about how doing nothing can actually be a form of self-care.
Doing
yes. But we're not very good at it, right?
No.
So that's something that we have been talking a lot about. It's like, okay, we talk about filling our time with hobbies and all these self-care things, but what if sometimes what we really need is to just slow down and actually do nothing. Like no phones, no TV, just like meditate or, you know, watch the clouds. Like, yes. I don't know.
I was going to say, it was like, when I'm thinking of Tam doing nothing, it's not meditating.
No, I know, but it's just,
but I feel like it probably is for the most of the world.
Sure.
It's just not a Tam thing.
But I think it can also be, you know, I was thinking like what this would look like lying in the grass, watching the clouds go by with your kids.
Yes.
I feel like that's something, it's not doing nothing technically, but it's like very slow. Just, there's no other external stimulation happening. You're just lying there, enjoying nothing.
So when you first brought this up as a topic to discuss, my instant word that I gave to myself was laziness. And I got frustrated because I was like, it's not laziness, right? So I feel like
it's actually rest, which is what our bodies need, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like that's something personally that I'm going to have to work on is changing the word, which I feel like is a lot of self-improvement, right? It's just changing the meaning of a word to remove that negative and look at it differently, right? Yep. So like I was trying to help myself understand how I could change the definition from laziness to rest. And I think what came to mind was like intention. Like I'm intentionally choosing to sit on the couch after a week of school, bus drop-offs, sports, picking family members up from their different spots, running the groceries, doing the errands. Like, I should absolutely be able to sit on a couch and just totally melt into it without having any guilt or feeling of the word laziness, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, we should. We 100% should. But I, can definitely relate to that because I feel like for most of my life, until we started doing this, probably in the last year, I felt like I was one of those people that if I was sitting, I felt guilty.
Yes.
Like, I felt like I was not being productive and that I should be doing something. I even was so weird about it that I would, be sneaky lazy. Or sneaky rest. Like, I would sneaky rest, you know?
What is sneaky rest for Erin?
It'd be, if I'm home alone, I'm going to be resting, but then somebody comes in. I got to get up and be productive, you know? And there's no reason for that because he thinks I'm crazy for being such a busybody, right?
I need you to see it.
But it's like a trauma response or something. You know, I don't know. It's just some weird thing in my brain that I'm I have to be productive all the time.
I can see you sitting on the couch and just hearing the rustling of the keys out of the door. You're like, grab a sponge. It's sneaky. Oh my God, I love you so much, Erin.
But yeah, I don't know if other people can relate to that, but I do feel like exactly what you said, that I've always viewed it as as lazy, right? But we've come to realize that it's not. You just have this visual now.
I can't get the visual. We have to pause the episode to start.
Come on, you can do it. We can power through here.
So yes, and to stay on track, I feel like that comes from the generational, conditioning of that wasted time, or like downtime is considered wasted time, right. Which is what got all of us millennial women out of the hobby mindset and out of the arena, because we saw it as a form of being lazy and therefore not doing enough to make yourself this independent woman. Right. So the fact that even you, a grown business woman, hiding laziness from her husband, just goes to show the mind gymnastics that we have to go through to put ourselves.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing is, I don't want anybody to think that my husband is like,
he's wonderful.
Yeah, no, he has talked to me before about it. He's like
he caught you. Oh my God, what is it catch you?
No, not even that. Erin. Just like, hey, you don't need to be busy all the time. It's okay, But I started to look at it like that, I'm starting to think about it like more like how, we need to exercise and eat healthy and sleep. Like those are vital. Like resting or doing nothing is kind of like a form of like self-care in that regard. Like it's almost essential, like a form of recovery, right?
Absolutely.
And I think so many of us get caught up in this idea of like, we need to earn our rest, or we need to work really hard throughout, like, then we can rest. Like, why is that? Like, that's so backwards, right?
Well, I even just said it just a moment ago where I was like, I've worked all week long. And don't I deserve it? But that's me saying it, and I earned it mindset, right? Right. Whereas that's like, it shouldn't be that I was like, well, the only reason I'm allowed to rest this Saturday is because I did all this stuff. Right. It should be that I penciled in Saturday, nobody call me except you.
It should be, I need my rest.
I need my rest.
Put it on my calendar.
Saturday, I'm putting it on my calendar. I deserve the opportunity to just sit and do nothing and melt into a couch. And I don't know, watch something that makes me feel super cozy and ready for the holidays, because I'm so there and want to be there. So no, I think that's really important. In fact, when I was trying to look more into this, I actually was reading where they said that like when you actually rest, your brain almost kind of goes into like a I'm going to call it like a default setting, but I don't think it's really a default setting. It's more like an idle mode. Yeah. Like it's just like a car just kind of just chilling for a second, right? Yep. And it actually suggested that by being in that idle mode, it almost kind of gives your brain like a space to kind of start being a little bit more creatively inspired, because it's in a very mellow state, right? Yep. But it gets piqued in interest about, like, I think of it as like when I was a kid. Like, I feel like, we didn't have iPads and such like that, right? Right. And in the summertime, we'd be forced to go outside and you got to figure something out, right, to entertain yourself. Well, that was like that. It was boredom. Yeah. It's like, and I would be bored, and out of being bored, I would try to think of a game to entertain all of my siblings while we're all sitting outside. Yeah, for sure. That's that creative step,
I think that's a perfect example. I don't know about you. I do this with I've been doing this a lot with my kids more recently, because they're always, I feel like they're such a habit of like wanting to be entertained all the time. They want me to entertain, they want me to play with them. So I started doing this thing, well, I'm not available, like go find something to do. It happened this morning, and Roman was like, I'm so bored. I'm like, well, I'm going to do laundry. You can help me with that. We can fold clothes together and talk. And then like 5 minutes later, he's up in his room, like building a whole train track.
No way.
Whole, and he found, it was exactly what you're talking about. It's like he was bored, forced to face himself, I guess. And then he came up with like a creative game, because he was all by himself, like, and I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Or to just, it definitely can spark that, just, it like shifts your gears to be able to be more creative.
Well, I think it at the very least, it helps our listeners build a definition that doesn't make laziness the word, right? It helps give it stillness. Like, you're intentionally taking this time, you're intentionally making it for you to rest, but also know that creativity actually can be stimulated in that rest, that can then lead into creativity in your personal life, creativity in your work life, creativity in a hobby.
I think it gives you time to like think, and then too, and it might spark new ideas.
Absolutely, because I think, and I kind of alluded to this in the beginning, that like I think people assume that being intentionally still means that you have to go meditate, right? And that's not what's being said.
No.
That is how some people do intentional stillness. It's not how Tam does it. But I think making sure that you see it as like, stillness could be how you define it. It's whatever makes you feel like you're taking a step back and taking a beat.
Even just like putting down your phone and not being scrolling while you're doing other things. Or, you know, I feel like just if you can just turn off your phone, like even that, just break from that can help you. I wanted to touch a little bit on like, I feel like there's a very important time in women's lives, motherhood, you know, early motherhood, where this is like especially important. I think that, you know, that postpartum, when your kids are in that like 0 to 3 range probably, is such a hard time for new moms.
Yeah, wildly hard.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that I have like 2 examples. Like I have 2 children and I did them 2 different ways, and I can definitely speak to like this. I wish that I would have done more of nothing.
After your first one or after your second one?
After the first one, yeah.
Okay.
So, first one was, I was like thinking that my life wasn't going to change. I just kept trying to like push forward with my career. I was still trying to do all the social things. I wanted to like, I was taking on learning new things for work and trying to just still not change my life at all. And it caused me so much postpartum depression, so much anxiety, so much stress, like crying at work. Like I know Roman was probably stressed out because of it all of my
sure they
mental
sense
state,
it all.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just I wish that, you know, it's always hindsight 2020, right? But and then when I had Malcolm 2.5 years later, I was like, I'm not going to do that again.
So you recognized between the two that you did too much. You pushed too hard.
Definitely. Okay. And not necessarily like in the hobby world, but I was just trying to do it all still. You know? And then when Malcolm came around, I was like, I'm not going to do that. And I really slowed down with him. Like, there was days I would just sit in my rocking chair and not do anything.
That sounds amazing.
But snuggle him and, you know, watch TV. And it was just such a, like, nicer existence, and, like, during that very difficult time, you know.
Do you, well, sorry, I'm going to stay on this. As your friend, I just want to talk about it. Like, so when you had those, the 2 differences, right? When you were doing, like, those intentional moments, I know that you guys have teetered on the words of maybe a third coming around there. Depends on who you talk to.
No,
but like
that was old news.
Right?
Not anymore.
Right? But like, do you feel like the idea of maybe this was being your last one, do you think that played a part in making you sit down more? Or do you think it was because you were so aware of how much you pushed yourself in the first one?
I think it was the latter. Like, I think when I had Malcolm, I didn't necessarily know that it was going to be our last. Which it is for sure. We're not having another one. But it was the contrast, you know. Like, I went through such stress and just awful things through Roman, like mentally, that I just didn't want to repeat that, you know.
Yeah.
And I just like wish somebody could have told me. I mean, I don't know if even like
you're just in the thick of it.
Yeah, you're in the thick of it. And I guess it just I just wanted to touch on that for like those women that are in that stage. It's like it's such a small chapter in your life. You don't feel like it is, but it really is. And to take that time to do nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, like your body's recovering, you're recovering. It's just the best thing that you can do for you and your child. So, yeah. And
it's, you know, it's I'm trying not to get emotional. Listen to my friend talk about postpartum, because it's not an easy time. You know, it's a very it's an exciting but dark time, right? At least for me personally, that's how it felt. It was like, holy cow, I just made a whole person, and they let me leave the hospital with it, right?
And you love them so much.
And you're so excited about this little being, but also, like, there's just, like, this, you know, change of, like, okay, what does this mean for me now? Like, what do I do? And, like, you know, you talk about how, like, you were, like, in a prime of, like, your business, and you were trudging forward. And I know that you and Adam had like talked about, like, were you the couple that were going to have kids or not? And so I can't imagine the pressure you might have felt from that, you know, to make sure that this was all not going to change anything, to try to prove something to yourself almost, I'm sure.
No, that's definitely true. There was I felt so much pressure for myself, you know. And I'm so grateful the path we've gone down, and it's all worked out okay, but there were definitely some dark times for sure during that period. So I think that if I would have just like slowed down and been okay with
taking that time
to not do anything like productive in society's, you know, eyes, it would have just been a lot easier.
Yeah. I feel, and I bet you probably feel the same way, that like when or if our children become parents, like these are things that we're going to be like, okay, we've got some things to say about this.
I have to listen to us.
Right. Yeah. In fact, if you don't even want to hear me now, I'll give you some recordings of me, you know, 20 years ago.
That's right. That we'll listen to these later.
I don't know. I actually had a whole conversation with my father-in-law about this that we'll save for another time.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like it's just important to just make sure that you know that like intentionally taking time is not laziness.
Right.
You deserve it. And it's really a positive thing. And it can actually, for if you're trying to keep it in the parenting spectrum, just modeling stillness is good for your kids. Like if you look at your kids and maybe your kid is really active in all these sports and doing all these things and you're just seeing them cooking every day throughout the week, show them that stillness is also okay. And by you doing that, because like telling them it, you know, they're gonna be like, okay, mom, sure, I gotta go practice or I gotta go do all this stuff. But if you show them like this step of you just taking time to just relax, maybe they come snuggle up to you and you do it together. Not only is it you modeling that, but then it's also creating like a shared experience of stillness that will create those memories, like of you rocking on the rocking chair with your baby. I'm not gonna cry. A picture of you rocking on your chair with the babies. But it's very important. Yeah. It's very, and that alone, if you're like, I need a hobby, I've got one for you. Try just sitting and taking a beat. Because I know that there's just been times where prior to this podcast, where I was just like, my life is flashing before my eyes, and I don't even think I had fun. You know, what did I do for fun during all that?
What would happen if we all slowed down and were more intentional?
More intentional at that time. It's not laziness, it's intentional. And you don't have to work hard all week long to earn it. You deserve to have it. You can put it at the start of your week if you want. If you think that would help you fight that whole I earned it process, put it on your Monday schedule. Give yourself 20 minutes where you just sit there and just chill. Maybe it's right after your kids get home from school and you all are like, oh, we got a week ahead of us. Let's just sit on the couch for a moment and breathe. I feel like that would just do wonders of changing the mindset and making a really positive change for those who are in that hustle culture and just trying to figure out a way to get out of it. What's your first hobby? Rest.
I love it.
Boom.
I love it.
Found it. God, we're so good at this.
Mic drop. Damn, that was a great summary. I appreciate that. And I hope this all inspires listeners
to be still.
To be still.
Rest.
And rest. It's a very important part of taking care of yourself.
It really is.
Join us next time on The Art of Happiness.
Bye.
Bye. Nice job, Tia.
Hey, thanks. I'm so sorry I got hung up on talking about you. It was just really sweet.
Oh, you don't be.
I just love you. I just want you to be so happy.
Oh, thank you.
And just hearing that you found that with your little man makes me so happy.
Yeah.